Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Reddit Stories video. And today we have brought in some Reddit confessions and more particularly disturbing Reddit confessions. This is a new series I am starting on my channel. If you guys like this type of Reddit confession series, comment below. I will try to bring more Reddit confessions in future. You can share your confession also so that I can bring them live in video. Okay, now without further delay, let's start. I keep seeing the same stranger in my dreams, and now they're in my reality. For the past 6 months, I've been having recurring dreams about a man in a black coat. He stands at the foot of my bed, staring at me with hollow eyes. In the dreams, he never speaks, but I can feel his presence, cold, heavy, and suffocating. Every time I wake up, I'm drenched in sweat, but I tell myself it's just a nightmare. Then last week, I saw him in real life. I was at a coffee shop waiting in line when I felt someone watching me. I turned around and there he was, the man from my dreams. Same black coat, same hollow eyes. He smiled at me, a slow, deliberate grin that made my blood run cold. I left the coffee shop immediately, but when I looked back, he was gone. Since then, I've seen him everywhere. On the street, in the park, even outside my window at night. He never approaches me, just stands there watching. Last night, I had the dream again, but this time he spoke. "You're almost ready," he said. I don't know what he means, but I'm terrified to find out. I found a diary in my attic, and it's writing back to me. I inherited my grandmother's house after she passed away. While cleaning out the attic, I found an old leather-bound diary. At first, I thought it was just a relic from her past, but when I opened it, I realized it was blank, except for the first page, which read, "Write your secrets here, and I will keep them safe." I thought it was a joke, so I wrote something silly. I stole a candy bar when I was 10. The next day I opened the diary again, and there was a new entry underneath mine, written in the same handwriting. I know. Do you want to know what else I know? I was freaked out but intrigued. I wrote back, "Who are you?" The response came immediately. "I'm the one who knows everything. Ask me anything." I started asking questions about my past, my future, things I'd never told anyone. The diary always answered, and it was always right. But then it started telling me things I didn't want to know. Your best friend is lying to you. Your mother never loved you. You're going to die soon. I tried to burn the diary, but it wouldn't catch fire. I threw it in the river, but it was back on my doorstep the next morning. Now it writes to me on its own. The last entry said, "You can't escape me. I'm part of you now. I accidentally summoned something, and now it's following me." I've always been fascinated by the occult, so when I found an old book of rituals at a flea market, I couldn't resist. The book was written in a language I didn't understand, but there were illustrations, candles, symbols, and incantations. I decided to try one, thinking it was just a game. I followed the instructions carefully, lit the candles, drew the symbols, and recited the words. At first, nothing happened. I laughed it off and went to bed. That's when the nightmares started. I dreamt of a shadowy figure standing in the corner of my room, watching me. When I woke up, I could still feel its presence. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. Objects moving on their own, whispers in the dark, cold spots in my apartment. Then I saw it. I was brushing my teeth when I caught a glimpse of something in the mirror behind me. It was tall with long, spindly limbs and a face that seemed to shift and change. I turned around, but there was nothing there. Now it follows me everywhere. I see it in reflections in the corner of my eye, even in my dreams. It doesn't speak, but I can feel its intentions. It wants something from me, and I don't know how much longer I can resist. I swear my neighbor is a serial killer, but I can't prove it. My neighbor, Mr. Thompson, is the nicest guy on the block. He's always smiling, always willing to lend a hand. But something about him feels off. It started with the noises. Late at night, I'd hear strange sounds coming from his basement. Thuds, scraping, and sometimes what sounded like muffled screams. I told myself it was just my imagination, but then I saw him dragging a large, heavy bag to his car one night. He looked up and caught me watching. He smiled and waved, but his eyes were cold. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but the pieces kept adding up. The way he always seemed to be watching me. The way his garden was always freshly dug up. The way he never had visitors, except for the occasional stranger who never seemed to leave. I called the police once, but they found nothing. Mr. Thompson even invited them in for coffee, and they came out laughing, saying he was a great guy. Now I'm too scared to do anything. I keep my curtains closed and my doors locked, but I can't shake the feeling that he knows I'm on to him. Last night I found a note slipped under my door. Mind your own business. I've been having visions of my own death, and they're coming true. It started a month ago. I had a vivid dream of myself drowning. I could feel the water filling my lungs, the panic as I struggled to breathe. When I woke up, I was gasping for air. A week later, I was at the beach with friends. I waded into the water, and suddenly a strong current pulled me under. I fought to surface, but it was like the dream. I couldn't breathe. My friends saved me, but I couldn't stop shaking. Then I had another dream. This time I was in a car crash. I saw the headlights coming straight at me, felt the impact, and woke up screaming. 2 days later, I was driving home when a truck ran a red light and T-boned my car. I walked away with minor injuries, but the crash was exactly like my dream. Now I'm having more visions, each one more horrifying than the last. A fall from a great height, a fire, a knife in the dark. I don't know how much time I have left, but I'm starting to think these aren't just dreams. They're warnings, and I'm running out of time. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe our channel. Reddit Stories, press the bell icon for more videos update.